Hello my dear Scorpio, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between August 16 and August 31st, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I will do a shorter mid-month reading after many requested it, and I will use the Mary L. Tarot by Mary White. When I pre-shuffled your cards, one card were persistently falling out, so I will let it be there. I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio viewers. So I want my dear Scorpios to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So I also want to take the chance to tell you about Mercury moving retrograde in Virgo from August 14. We will have a solar eclipse and a new moon in Leo on August 21st. Also Mars is in Leo. Sun and Moon moves into Virgo, sorry, on the 22nd of August, and Venus are moving from Cancer to Leo on August 26th, joining there with Mars. So both Mars and Venus will be in Leo. All the slow-going planets are moving retrograde, except for Jupiter, that is moving direct in Libra. But all the other planets like Saturn moving retrograde in Sagittarius, Uranus is moving retrograde in Aries, and Neptune is moving retrograde in Pisces, and Pluto is moving retrograde in Capricorn. For you Scorpio, we have a moon will move through the 26th to the 28th of August. Okay, so the lighting is a little bit funny. So maybe that's better. Okay, so the first card for you, Scorpio, is the Tower that fell again and again. So the Tower is a card, it's about everything that's not really built on solid ground needs to fall. So everything that you have done in your life that weren't really prosperous or weren't really making you happy, or behaviors that you had that was not really rewarding for you, they all need to fall. So you might meet, like I met a lot of resistance in July, things not going accordingly with your plans. The Tower can be very happy events as well, like things that you wanted to fall will fall, or things that were a secret the truth will be revealed and it will be good for you. The Tower is always healthy, it always wants to help, but it's not always feeling like a help. You might have asked for help and help is coming. You might have said, I don't want to be in this situation anymore, and help is coming, but it might be not as you wanted it to be, because maybe you wanted it to be other people's fault, or maybe you wanted it to be easier, maybe you didn't want to be as challenged. But here the Tower comes and it really wants to make you see the truth of something. For some of you it might be having to do with health, that you need some type of healing. You need to see something, how you are behaving towards your body that's not really great, and that's giving you some symptoms. So for some of you it will be like this, and you see this is the Tower, it's burning. It's the old things that's burning down, and when this is burned down, it will free a lot of energy that wasn't to your disposal before, because it was locked in old clutter and old relationship that didn't really work, or old habits that you had that really didn't work. So to help this energy along, you can start to declutter your home, declutter your life, starting also to do those things that you might have said that you wanted to do but never came to do it. Use your self-control to actually get those things working now, because the Divine sends you help, but if you help and go along with it, have a little less resistance towards good things, then it will be easier, this this, I wanted to say transaction, but that's not really right. I meant something else. Okay, the next card is the Six of Discs in reversed. So when it comes in reverse, it shows that this is imbalance with giving or receiving. Either you are not giving enough, maybe you are tearing down things. For some of you, this might be you that have caused a tower. Maybe you are liking to have tower around you, or liking this tower energy. So maybe liking dramas a little bit because you're water and you're Scorpio. You want to have transcendence. You want people to transform. And it's almost looking like a salamander or some lizard there in the fire, but it's probably a human. Maybe you wanted the change. Maybe you want, for some of you, you might deliberately have done this, like put an ultimatum to someone acting stupid, or someone has put an ultimatum towards you, because the Six of Discs means this harmony. You have been giving too much, too little, either working on destroying things, because you, we have a Swedish song that you won't be understanding at all because it's in Swedish, but it's like this girl is singing, I'm building up, and you tearing down. I'm so sick of this. We need to have a talk. There might be people that's really sick of you because you are tearing down what they are trying to build up, or you are really sick of people tearing down what you are trying to build up. There's no consensus here. There's no cooperation. People are not helping each other. They are destroying things for each other. So that's not love. That's the opposite of love. For some of you might, it's this what I'm feeling. I need to pinpoint it. It's like some of you are dealing with a person that wants to be loved no matter what. Like they are destroying things, breaking up relationship and tearing down, like not tearing down this, what I'm feeling, it's like loyalty being torn down, or trust being torn down, and they don't care, they just want to see if they're loved anyway. So some of you will encounter people that's acting like stupid small children, and that's of course a real burden. This Six of Discs, normally it's about being in harmony with nature and going with the flow and trying to heal and increase the amount of energy. But this is a more destructive energy, like an energy that wants to tear down. It's this chaos energy. It wants to make chaos. It wants to have riots. It wants to, if someone is painting their house in a beautiful new color, someone will come and spray paint it. So it's really like a raging teenage energy, or someone being 3 years old and throwing a tantrum. So I hope, yes, someone is not cooperating here in a very good way. So if you're dealing with people like this, you will probably get some advice here. Okay, it's the Star card. So we have the Tower and then the Star card. Maybe things needs to be like tear down, and people acting out might have a problem that needs to be healed. The Star card is about healing. It's about going with the divine and trying to find like a better way to do things, being divinely guided. So maybe this revolutionary energy is divinely guided. Maybe it's there to show people something, or push borders and boundaries to the breaking limits, so things can be built in a better way, in a new way. And it's like the masses here are following the divine, so that's very beautiful. So nothing bad that doesn't have something good coming with it. So, and she has this circle patterns in her paws, it's not paws, it's hand, and it's of course is this, she has it in her forehead also, but when it's just like this, it's like sacrificing, like maybe you're sacrificing yourself so people will see the things that they can't see without you being there. So if you have been acting stupid or acting out or acting irrationally, maybe you sacrifice yourself to make other people aware of what they are putting up with, or what they shouldn't be putting up with. Maybe waking people, but in a very shaky kind of way, in a very destructive kind of way. And yeah, okay, so and it can also be that some of you Scorpios have big patience with people acting stupid. Maybe they have tear down your whole world, and you're still like, well, everything will be fine, everything will be in order, I'm trusting the universe to fix this. And I think that's a rather good good way of handling things, as long as you don't blocking out the truth or not wanting to see an uncomfortable truth about someone and their contribution to your life. Maybe you have some chaotic energy in your life that you are there to help or heal in some way as well. Okay, and here we have the now, and it's the 9 of discs. So the 9 of discs is about taking responsibility for yourself and building your own paradise, sometimes parted from other people. So it's like this destruction of the tower, that it was maybe there to make you more self-sufficient. Maybe you were too hopped up on something, or too dependent on something, maybe codependent even in a situation. And here with the 9 of discs, you need to start to take care of yourself, and that 3-year-old need to grow up, and the teenager need to grow up, and it's the Hermit energy. So it's a little bit like moving away from home, finding a way to actually, how can I say, it's like a person acting out and destroying things in their surrounding. But they need to do so. It's like you need to let them fall. It's like you need to let those people fall. If you're dealing with those people, let them fall and take care of yourself. Take care and nurture yourself. Because both sides need to learn something from this. One side need to learn that no one will catch you if you are acting stupidly, like again and again and again. Then they will just let you fall. And the other side needs to not take on so much responsibility for everyone else, but actually taking care of yourself instead. And and it's those 2 pillars. So it's kind of a doorway that you need to pass through, some kind of maturity, right? It's evolution as well. Things are evolving, people are changing, shifting. You might be dealing with some kind of shapeshifter, like a person having that personality and then having that personality. If you call them and tell them what you see, like, now I see you are acting like this, and this is how I think about this or feel about this, and now I see you acting like this is better, I like this better. You can give feedback, like good feedback, but more taking care of yourself. What can I say more about this? It's a healing again. It's the symbol of healing. It's come from oldest depiction of this is from a god named Enki that lived in Mesopotamia maybe 400,000 years ago or so, due to the legends and the myths. Maybe he didn't live here for, maybe he left like 6,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. And he was master with DNA and evolution, and he could take like scrapings from his own fingernails and create whatever kind of monster, this with feet like this and head like this. So I think we're talking about healing and evolution here, and human beings evolving. So maybe things need to be destroyed before you can build them up again. And really don't take responsibility for other people too much. Try to narrow your world a little bit, to take more care of yourself, and to find ways to not give out too much. If you are being with a Scorpio that's acting like this, take care of yourself instead. Let them do their thing. Let them fall a little bit. They need to take responsibility for your own life. And if you are dealing with, it might be an earth sign energy, that's yeah, you need to be more earthy. That's what I'm feeling. Be more grounded, not acting so dramatic. If you're a Scorpio, don't follow this drama. Be more cool, like the star card here and this thing saying, well, this too will pass. This too is just a phase. And yes, okay, burning the world might give big consequences, but not for me. I'm taking care of myself in this. Taking care of yourself in the midst of a storm, in the midst of, it's like the eye of the storm. Put yourself in the eye of the storm. Don't be so affected by dramatic people in your surrounding, and try to heal yourself and ground yourself, and try to not mind so much what happens. You do the best thing you can with what you have, and then what other people do is actually up to their conscious level. Okay, so good. Here we have the central card, and it's the Emperor. It's number 4. It's Aries energy. And we also see Pisces here, with the Pisces. And here's a dragonfly. That's a very spiritual symbol. Beautiful card. The Emperor is connected to big civilization and thriving, and also big civilization going down under. And we have the Tower here. I saw something similar in the Aries reading, so there might be something going on in a bigger level, or maybe you have Aries somewhere in your chart, or the Aries might have Scorpio in their chart, or you are connected in some way because you have a similar type of reading here. And here it's about law and order, structure and order. If the world around you is in chaos, give structure and order to yourself, to your own kingdom. Law and order. It needs to be more law and order. It's like, I'm usually for a revolution, but this revolution seems to be so destructive, and there's forces around that wants it to be contained, is what I'm feeling, that it wants it to be structured, so you can use this energy for something better. That's why you need to be this self-reliance and like having boundaries and being grounded, because this power that's being let loose here, it needs structure. It's a positive power probably in its roots, but it needs structure. Okay, next card here is the Ace of Discs upside down. So this is failure, civilizations falling, relationships falling, whatever it was, you were trying to build something here together with someone else. It might be a friendship not working out, or a new project that you want that not working out for you. And if so, it's just like a road sign. It's pointing to, well, this is not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be someone else, somewhere else, someone else. Okay, so that was maybe a message for some of you. Maybe you're choosing to be in one personality when really you should choose to be more in the other. That would be more beneficial for you. So if you feel yourself that you are flickering between two personalities, try to choose the personality that gives most positive benefit, even if to be in the other might feel like more dramatic and fun. Actually, the fun can have its limits, because here I feel a limitation because of something destructive, like something is going to be, it's like a miscarriage. Maybe you need to take better care of yourself to not lose something that's really important for yourself. Give yourself more self-respect. Don't give everything away to other people, because that might mean that if you are not having self-respect and loving yourself, you might also lose money with this, or lose health, lose chances, opportunities. Okay, so structure is needed for Scorpio. Structure and positive work, doing positive things, contributing in a positive way. Instead of being like a little bit crazy and doing crazy things, take responsibility. Decide what's, have goals. Find out what it is that you want to create and create it. Because it's like you don't have any goals. It's like you don't care. It's like you just throw everything in the air and see what falls in your head. And that's not a way to live. Because it's destructive. Plain and simple destructive. So, okay. You have a choice here to take better care of yourself, or you will lose things. Okay, so with that being said, we move into your future, and here we have a Two of Swords. So Two of Swords is this I feel here like you don't need the drama. You don't need the drama. Cut out the drama. It's like a person deciding to be cool. To decide to take responsibility, to decide to it's almost like the old paradigm thing. I'm not really comfortable in saying this, because the Two of Swords usually for me is like, oh, you try to be too nice, you are trying to take too much responsibility, you try to kind of silence yourself and only do the things that you think are right. And this is what I want you to do, Scorpio. All those things that I usually don't like, because it's you have bring in this new energy to our world, but now you are burning it with it. It's like you need some of that old structure, because you have been walking before us, because you are Scorpio, you are fire, water, and you are here to transcendence like evolve mankind. But it's like you have maybe overdo it. You have overdone it. You have been walking maybe too hasty. People are not keeping up with you, or you are becoming destructive in your new power. It's like it's like a god getting a lot of power and then using it first for good, and then getting like hopped up on this power and just destroying the world. And it's like this dragonfly, it's just living a very short time. So this too will end. Don't get too blown up with your ego and think that you are everything, because this empire will also come to an end, and your power will come to an end. And maybe some of you Scorpio will end up totally alone if you have been like saying everything that were on your mind and being all like all over the place. So some of you really need to keep your mouth shut and try to, stand in line and getting order and behaving and acting normal and, cut your hair and shave that beard and get a job, kind of. Oh, I'm feeling like really like I'm from the 40s or something. Oh, so okay. Take better care of yourself, Scorpio. Don't be self-destructive. That's what I'm feeling here. Okay, next card is the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is a lot of things. The Eight of Cups is this adolescence revolution again, but it's coming upright, so it's a good thing here. And this Eight of Cups, this girl, she has the skin of a lion on her. So, and it's not any skin on any lion. I don't remember the name. It's starting with an N, but it's the lion that Hercules were supposed to kill, and it has impenetrable skin. Very hard word for me to say. Because of its high moral values and standards. That's what the fairy tale tells between the lines. If you have very high morals and standards, you will be impenetrable. You will be like no one can throw stuff or things at you and say that you have been bad. So it's like you need to hold your horses. You need to hold your mouth shut at least and start to think, what is high moral standard for me? What is it that I want to contribute with? What is it for me to be nice, to be loving, to be caring, to be giving, to be responsible? You need to have values that will make you impenetrable. Because maybe I'm feeling also bad boy energy here, that many of you bad boys, bad girls, gets a lot of responsibility for things that might not really be your responsibility. If you start to become impenetrable, if you start to become like showing high moral standards, high values, you really need to grow up. That's what I'm feeling. Grow up, for God's sake, and take responsibility, because this is an energy that you can harvest. And it's like I'm seeing you becoming this really high entity with a really high vibrating, like this beautiful blonde vibrating sunlight. It's very you want to reach there, and there's not hard for you to get there. You just need to shape up. Okay, shape up, and you will reach to this point of evolution, and that is going to be marvelous. Scorpios are going to shine like beautiful angels, and right now you're just destroying the world a little bit, so that's not what we need. So the last card for you, Scorpio, is the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is a beautiful card. It's about finding your platform, finding the home inside of you. This is like a person lying in the forest and checking up in the tree crowns and looking at the display of nature, like how the shifting is and the movement. It's a little bit fiery here. So it's about getting your fiery temperament in order is what I see here, because you see here the Tower, Emperor, Four of Wands, 4, 4, and 16. So it's a lot with force, because 4 times 4 is 16. And this fire, it's very much alike. You can use this to, build or destroy. Use it for positive things or for burning the world. It's up to you. But I hope you choose this, because this is coming with love, self-love, self-appreciation, self-value, self-respect, other people loving you, committing to you, connecting to you, marriage, new house. Maybe some of you is going to have to kind of shape up and move away from home. take more responsibility, be more like a team player, work together with people instead of against people, go with the masses instead of against the masses. And I don't mean like going in with the masses and looking at the latest soap opera, but going with the masses and doing positive things, sharing love, sharing beautiful things. So I think this was a good reading for you, Scorpio. It's just a little bit of warning for what you don't need to do. Like you have had a lot of energy at your disposal, but for some of you, you are using it in a reckless way, and you need to shape up. And for others of you, if you have problems with people that are acting like this in your life, become impenetrable. Become this person with a high moral standards and leave stupid people behind. Become more like self-loving. Take better care of yourself. And also maybe give people the silent treatment if they are acting bad. So we have the Druid Craft Tarot here by Philip and Stephanie Cargo. And it's illustrated by Will Worthington. And I will take a card for your past, like what you brought to this, Scorpio. What about Scorpio? It's a very slippery deck. It's very silky and heavy, so it's not easy jumping. It's very, like, don't want to jump, but it's going to be better with age, getting more tainted. I will take that. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Love is important. And for you, I think many of you are feeling like you shouldn't care what you do. You need to be loved anyway. And that's of course true, and that's the energy that you have bring here, so anyone would feel it and everyone would start loving themselves. But you're getting a little bit hopped up on it, and you're requiring too much maybe from people. But in other case, it's also deeper, that you don't love yourself enough to give yourself beautiful things in life and to give yourself a beautiful future. If you start loving yourself and everything that you are for real, you will do things that's healthy for you and take healthy decisions. You won't destroy like the whole world around you. There came a lot of other cards here at the same time. It's the Two of Swords and Three of Swords. So for some of you, you might just need to have a little bit like this, the Two of Swords here and the Two of Swords here. You might need to put a little distance between you and another person, and maybe making them choose between, you know, the straight road or the bad road, to be with you or not. And because it's a lot of pain connected to this. It's a lot of hope as well, this heart here and the bear claw in the tree that has marked its territory. But it's like, don't sacrifice yourself for someone that wouldn't do the same thing back towards you. Okay? And do sacrifice to those that deserves it. Give back what you have received. So that will make beautiful balance in your life, Scorpio. I will also take a card for your future, a vision for Scorpio's future. What can help them? So maybe you need to. Oh, yes, those cards are slippery too. Yes, okay. Maybe you need to play the game a little bit, be with other people, try to act like they won't fit in a little bit, play by the rules, go with the flow. Yes, it's a little bit with seeing the mask and resting as well. I will read this card for you a little bit so you can see what it's about. And see here, the number 2. So, okay. Belonging, acceptance, assimilation. So this is what you need to do. You have been, you know, being forebearers, being the both forebearers but also front runners. And you have brought in this new energy, but now you need to start to assimilate again. The primary joy of life is acceptance, approval, the sense of appreciation and companionship of our human comrades. So this is what you need to focus on now to get back in the game. Our sense of belonging and acceptance by others requires affirmation. Peer recognition and acceptance is a compelling motivation and reward for our participation. To that aim, we may have to demonstrate to some degree our allegiance Some communicate their allegiance and commitment through body marking, others by more transcendent expressions such as dress code and fashion, and still others by their conduct or mannerism. Whatever the form, all are variations of the same basic objective, namely confirmation that I am this and I belong, and in turn you are this and we accept you. So very beautiful card for you, Scorpio. So my dear Scorpio, thank you for watching this reading with me, and thank you for joining me on this spiritual journey. Your message here was a little unorthodox, so maybe it won't fit for every one of you. Yeah, if it didn't, you can watch your moon, sun, or rising. And also, I want to welcome you back to the September reading. I'm sorry if you didn't hear that. I forgot to put the microphone on. But what I said was thank you for watching and sharing this beautiful spiritual journey with me. And also, I hope for you to be back together with me when I come with the September readings. Okay, bye-bye.